Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Advice with Mike. I'm your host, comedian Mike Murphy. Now, if you're new to the channel, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. This is the show where you guys send in your messiest, toxic, most out-of-pocket predicaments, and I attempt to break them down, giving my honest and unbiased feedback. Now listen, I'm a comedian, not a therapist, so ain't no guarantee I'll be able to help fix your life, but I can provide laughter along the way and call it like I see it. So without any further ado, let's get into the episode. I can't believe my husband humiliated me in front of all my friends. Mike, my husband humiliated me at my birthday dinner in front of all my friends. I'm willing to bet any amount of money he didn't, and you're just making a mountain out of a molehill. And I don't think I can look at him the same. My birthday was coming up, and I wanted to do dinner at this upscale steakhouse with my husband and a few of my besties. Why not just you and your husband, or just you and your besties? My husband planned the whole dinner and made the reservations for us. It was me, my husband, and my 5 closest girlfriends. We had drinks, dinner, and he even got them to bring out a birthday cake for me as well. Sounds like a grand old time to me. It was the most amazing night until it was time to pay. Nah, don't tell me your man's car got declined in front of your besties. Now he's busting suds in the back. When the server asked was it one bill or were we splitting it, my husband said he was only paying for me and him, as he should. I said, well, what about my friends? And he said they're not his responsibility. Oh, you tried it, didn't you, huh? They are adults and they could pay for their own meal. I was so embarrassed that my friends didn't plan on spending any money that night. Well, I hope they planned on throwing neck that night. My husband should have taken care of the whole night to make sure my birthday was amazing. Like this video if you think she's full of shit. We were supposed to go to the club after dinner, but after how cheap he was acting at dinner, I decided I was going to stay over at my girlfriend's house and get away from him for the night. I got a better idea. How about you stay there for good and y'all can scissor each other into oblivion? All I wanted was my special day to go well, and he couldn't even do that. I talked to my older sister, and she laughed at me and asked if my friends planned on giving my husband some since they expected him to pay. Sounds like Big Sis got some sense. Am I expecting too much for him? Does a bear shit in the woods? Or is he doing too little? At what point did you arrive at the conclusion that your husband was supposed to pay for you, him, and 5 other chicks? So a total of 7 of y'all at this upscale steakhouse. What made you think that he was automatically supposed to pay for them? I really want to know, because you're not the first person that I've seen have similar issues to this. I mean, at least that's your husband. So maybe you thought because of that, it was some type of obligation. Because I've seen chicks on like 2nd or 3rd dates and a girlfriend come and they're like, oh, you're not buying all my girls drinks and stuff like that, which is insane. So maybe you thought, well, this is my husband, it's my day, this is what I want. This isn't no different if he paid for me to go on vacation or bought an expensive bag, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not the money amount. It's not the dollar amount. It's the principle. Why? Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't pay for them, because if he said, yeah, I'm going to pay for everybody, we're all going to go have a good time, I got it, don't worry about it, that's different. But the fact that you're assuming that he's going to pay and think that if he doesn't, that makes him less of a man, or that he's not appreciating your birthday or celebrating you the right way, is absolutely insane. What are you talking about? Like your sister said, was they planning on giving your husband some? Because I don't know if they're all single or not, but even if they are, that's not the case. But if any one of them especially has a man or a husband, he's 100% absolutely not inclined to pay her bill. She has a man who sent her out the house to go eat, should have made sure she had enough cash to splurge, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I hate when people go out for their birthday and the people that they invite, like their close friends and family, don't pay for their bill. Because guess what? If your man wasn't there and it was just you and your 5 friends, who would have paid for your food? Would it have been you? Surely it wasn't. Surely it wouldn't have been you. So them chicks not only would have to pay for their own meal, but then they had to fork over a couple dollars each to cover your meal, another 25, 30 a pop on top of whatever they paid to cover your meal. So did you bring your husband out to make sure that you and your girls could get a free meal on him because they couldn't go? Because what it sounded like is, I wanted to do dinner at this upscale steakhouse in the city. Cool. I like good steakhouses. Those are my favorite places to eat. Like, it's my birthday. I want to do a big boom, boom, boom. Normally, a girl would have had 2 different dinners. One with her man. He would have taken care of it, wined and dined her, all that. And then one with her besties, and they would have paid for her. So she'd have got 2 meals and not had to pay for nothing at all. What it sounds like is you got some broke besties, you know what I'm saying? Some begged the stallions, some begging goods, you know what I'm saying? Beggy Bundys, on your team, they couldn't afford that steakhouse on their own. Talking about they ain't planning on spending a penny tonight. Yeah, because they don't have a penny to spend. You told them, yeah, come out. My man gonna take care of it. We can finally try out that STK everybody been talking about. Yeah, y'all ain't got no money. Don't worry about it. Negative. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. He probably knew that about your friends. Knew they was poverty stricken, and was like, oh, they think I'm paying here. Oh, wide awake in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not paying for them because for a man, men don't have no problem providing, especially for their woman, their children, their family. You know what I'm saying? Friends. Men are providers by nature. Ones who aren't providers either have been burnt so much in the past that they got like PTSD, or they're just not capable. They don't have the funds to provide, but they still internally want to do it. They just can't. So your husband, and men in general, don't like feeling like they're being used or played or taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why when men take women out on dates and you see some women get spoiled and they get all the gifts in the world, it's because they're not asking for that stuff. They're not entitled to that stuff. They're just going with the flow, making that man's life pleasurable. And he's like, you know what? You can get whatever you want. You a real one. So you probably brought the broke friends around who expected him to pay, felt entitled. He peeped game and was like, nah, I'm paying for you. Let them pay for themselves, you know what I'm saying? Because if they was the cool friends, oh, what's up, Cav? Or whatever, you know what I'm saying, your man's, you know what I mean? Whatever they was doing, if they was cool, he'd probably be like, hey, give whatever y'all want. I got it. It's her birthday. We having a ball. But they're not. They're piece of shit friends who always come around with their hand out expecting the most from other people, and he peeped game on it. So nah, you said, are you overreacting or is he not doing enough? No, you're bugging out. And the fact that you would want your man to be paying for other women is crazy. So I'm gonna tell you right now, what happens is, not all the time, but a lot of times is, your friends don't get men like that or don't have a man that's like that. When they see how generous and providing he is and how masculine he is and how he just takes care of the bill without batting an eye, they say, where do I find a man like that? And then guess what he says? Right here, baby, I cheat. I got that off a meme off Instagram, but I thought it was funny. But now that's what actually happens. They see your man doing all this stuff and they're like, nah, I want that. And now they got they teeth sunk into your man, literally and figuratively. And now you like, damn, what went wrong? You know it went wrong. Apologize to your husband and don't expect that from him no more. That's my advice to you. Stay alert, stay alive. My man was cheating on me, but he don't know I was cheating on him first. Mike, please keep this anonymous. Come on now, don't I always? My fiance cheated on me and had a baby by a girl he used to mess with before me. There's a right way to do the wrong thing, and I can tell you right now, that ain't it. He told me as soon as he found out and was honest about it. He said it was a really bad choice and he had a lapse in judgment, and one night he made a mistake that he regrets. Like this video if you think he's full of shit. I was heartbroken and angry, but I forgave him. Nah, he must be blowing your spine out of alignment for you to have stayed after you got that information. All my friends think I'm dumb, but what they don't know is that our son isn't really his child. It's his brother's kid. Hey, yo, what? Time out. Technical foul. The false 23andMe test results? Absolutely nasty work. Not here for it. It was one of those I should have waited and chose better moments, because the first time I saw his brother, I knew I chose the wrong one. Nah, seems like the brother's the one who chose wrong. As soon as I saw him, I knew I was going to sleep with him, and so I did. Manifested the meat. Gotta respect a woman who knows what she wants. Not once, not twice, more like 35, 40 times, and we never use protection. Alexa, play Super Freak by Rick James. So when I got pregnant, I knew it was his. Well, I never actually took a DNA test, but I'm sure it is his. I'm sure you don't know. Part of me wants to tell my boyfriend to clear my conscience, but another part knows if I open my mouth, the damage I'll cause will be irreparable. Speaking of irreparable, the damage that he causes to your face might be too. And I'm not ready for that, but I kind of want to hurt him the way he hurt me. Now, I know you'll say that I was wrong for doing it first, but he was still wrong too. Plus, he had no clue about what I did, so his cheating was just cuz, and it wasn't for revenge. So, Mike, what should I do in this situation? First and foremost, I think y'all are two peas in a pod, and that pod is shit. If he was going to cheat, he should have done the wrong thing the right way, not be letting off in the club and get shorty knocked, especially an ex. He still got feelings there, unresolved trauma. Leave him alone. But also, he need to leave you alone because from the moment you met his brother, you was like, oh yeah, I gotta have that. So you was plotting long before you knew what he did. You know what I'm saying? So y'all both was doing each other dirty. Here's the problem though. And you may or may not like how this sounds, but it's the reality. He was cheating, got a girl pregnant, that's foul. But guess what? He's not lying to you and making you somehow believe that that's the baby that came out of you. You've been lying to him, telling him that it's his baby, and it possibly isn't. Now, you say you didn't get a DNA test, but you know it's his brother's. No, you don't. Who the hell do you think you are? God, you're not. You was letting them both track you. You got knocked. The only way you could know it's the brothers is if there was a span of time where you and dude was just not ever doing it. Like that window where you're ovulating or whatever, that's the only way you could tell, and you didn't mention that. So I'm thinking you wanted to be the brothers so you can have some hurt to give back to your boyfriend because he got another shorty knocked, but you don't know whose kid that is. But even if you do, even if it is the brothers, you're worse off than he is because, again, men are oftentimes going to be with other women. When we don't cheat, it is us suppressing our natural inclination. I don't care if it sounds good, if you think that or you feel, I don't give a damn. I'm a man. If you talk to 99% of men, they will tell you, yo, I'm not supposed to be with one chick. So when we do it, we are suppressing our natural urges and our inclinations to spread and multiply. That is what we're put on earth for. Monogamy is a relatively new theory in itself. Way back in the day, that was not a thing. So let's get back to it. He was out doing what he was supposed to do. Now, what I will say is, if you're going to be out there and you're going to be with different women, two things. Either A, tell the woman you're with, yo, listen, it's never just going to be you. I just want you to know that. Because once you start lying about it, that's where the issue is. If you can't find a woman that'll say, nah, I'm cool with that. As long as you come home to me every night, then that you need to find that or don't cheat. Because the you being with many women is, that's natural. But when you're lying to the person that you love or whatever, saying, no, I'm not going to cheat on you, and then you're doing it, and not only are you doing it, you're impregnating this woman, and it's not just a regular woman, it's a girl you already was with before, so you clearly have feelings with her. You're doing everything wrong. And now somebody will watch this video and be like, so you saying, man, listen, I'm not saying cheat is the wrong word. If you know that you can't just be with that one person, and this is coming from a person who used to lie about doing it. When I was younger, I just didn't know no better. I didn't want to lose that, so I was doing this on the side, keeping it in the dark. As I matured, I realized if I'm going to do that, if I'm not going to be with just that one woman, I either need to stay single or tell her straight up from the rip, yo, it's going to be other joints. You're going to be wifey, but there's going to be other joints. If you can't do that and you got to lie about it, well, then you deal with the consequences. So he's out there doing all kind of wrong. You know what I'm saying? I ain't defending him. But what you did was you got pregnant by not only just some random dude, but his brother. That's fouler than him getting his ex-girlfriend pregnant. You didn't kept it in the family. And now the kid probably looked just like him because they're brothers. If this is going off of if that is the brother's kid. So you're super foul. And here go another thing you're not going to want to hear. He confessed to you and told you what he did because guess what? There's minimal consequences for that. You can't whoop him. You can't do, you know what I'm saying? Like you could be mad, you could cry, you could break up with him, and that's it. You tell him what you did with his brother, I ain't gonna say it on YouTube, but there's a lot of stuff that can happen to you, and I hope it doesn't. But I'm just warning you that you don't have the same leeway as he does when confessing something like that. Now, do I think you should tell him that? Yes. In person? Absolutely not. Stay alert, stay alive is definitely the advice I would give you. So my suggestion to you is come clean. Y'all both need to not be together. That's for one. Come clean. Do it separately, get a DNA test, find out whose kid that actually is, and then just start the healing journey from there. Because both of y'all did dirt, y'all hurt each other, and right now, you're the only one that knows you're being hurt because he has no clue. You owe that to him as well as the brother, because if that is the brother's kid, he's owed a relationship with his child. So that's my advice to you, but I wouldn't do it in person for your safety. Stay alert, stay alive. She said her past is her past and it shouldn't be held against her now. So Mike, I was on a date a few weeks ago and we were talking about past relationships and what caused them to not work out anymore. Sometimes it's better to leave the past in the past. So I shared my stories and then she casually mentioned that she used to be an escort. What's her Instagram? No, it's for market research purposes and whatnot. And then her last man didn't approve of that, so he broke up with her. Yeah, we call that community property, hard pass. She then proceeds to tell me that she isn't mad at his choice, but it made her realize that he was just a weak man with a fragile ego. Surprised she didn't call him gay. Nothing says gay more than a man with boundaries and self-respect. And that's why she likes me, because I seem like I'm a lot more secure and sure of myself. Like this video if you think she's full of shit. I don't know why the hell she thinks I will be okay with that either. Granted, she doesn't do that anymore, but I'll be damned if I'm cuffing to work. I think she tried to manipulate me by making him sound weak for not accepting it and saying I'm more of a man than he is. Yeah, that's exactly what she tried. I know I'm cutting her off, but we haven't made it to the bedroom fun yet, and I need to at least get some first. Slide her the 40 ball, crack cheeks, and be out. Mike, do you think it's worth the headache of playing the game until I get what I want, or should I cut my losses and move on? I think you should just offer the 40 ball and say, look, you know what I came here for. We never gonna go nothing past this, so let me just cash you right on out, clap cheeks, beat buns, bake your oven, and get on about my life, because this is never gonna be nothing more than that. You know what I'm saying? You could be the homie, you could be platonic, but we're never gonna be cuffing you, because you're definitely the work. Talking about my last man was weak with a fragile ego. That's why I like you. You're more confident, more sure of yourself. She done threw the gas on you and doused you in it, lit you straight on fire and was like, yeah, you tough, right? Dudes marry escorts every day. You be all right. She try to hit you with that. That's crazy. I'd have smiled. Yeah, okay, that's enough. That's enough. I'd have left right then and there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you, right, all jokes aside, though. Playing the game to get what you want is not going to be worth the headache. Now, I don't know what Shorty look like. Matter of fact, what's her Instagram? You know what I'm saying? Because I know for men, sometimes we didn't spend a couple hours on some dates or whatever, spent time, whatever it is, and we've been tweaking it just, let me just get a little bit, you know what I'm saying? She might be bad, body might be crazy, cheeks might be clapping, whatever, you know what I'm saying? We seeing that, we like, yo, I gotta get that. That's where a lot of our downfall be, because we just can't let the curiosity go. Like, yo, I need to feel that. But I'm gonna tell you a couple things that could go wrong, right? She start really liking you. You playing along with her like, yeah, dude was weak, ego fragile, all that. You gaslighting her right back. Yeah, I'll definitely wife you. Only a weak man will be concerned with your past. Telling her all that, you know what I'm saying, Derek Jackson type nonsense to get her mind wrapped up. Then she lets you clap, you beat cheeks once or twice or whatever. Then you ghost her. Now she's coming up with the allegations. Now she's saying you took it. You know what I'm saying? Now you on a registry, got to get a lawyer to fight it, all that. Just because you wanted to beat cheeks, it ain't worth it. There's so much boxing buns out there, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you can get buns in a box. It's crazy. You can do a lot of stuff nowadays. But it ain't worth going through the games and the headaches to try to get the cookie knowing you're going to dip, because you don't know how women react when they're rejected, when they feel used, manipulated. Women lie all the time. When they start coming out with that believe all women, I'm like, absolutely not. Women be lying like a rug. They be the lying king. If you do something to hurt a woman's feelings enough, ain't no stopping, you know what I mean? Ain't no telling what she would do. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. That's a saying for a reason. So you go in there and use her, play her, get what you know what I'm saying? Then you end up like Martin on a thin line between love and hate. It be looking nasty for you, you know what I'm saying? You gotta chill, bro. Don't do it. Tell her right now, like, yo, respectfully, I can't get with you just like the last dude. Matter of fact, slide me his number so me and homeboy can go get drinks and bag 2 new joints together and trauma bondo for your nut ass. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would have done. Not really, but it sound good. But no, in all honesty, it's like, yo, bro, leave her alone. Let her be. Don't ghost her. Be a man. Tell her why. Say, listen, I get that. I'm quite sure of myself. I'm confident. I'm masculine. Whatever these things are, you're not going to manipulate me into believing that I'm less of a man or I'm not a man because I choose not to deal with someone who used to cash out the kitty, you know what I'm saying, for the ducats. It don't work like that. I don't want a woman like you. I want a woman like X, Y, and Z, and we're not aligned right now. So there is someone out there who will find you attractive, who will love you for who you are, will accept your flaws and all that. And that person is called a simp. That's who that is. That's an incel. Someone who don't get no guts on a regular will definitely take what they can get because it's scarcity. They beating cheeks once every like 4 or 5 months. Nah, don't get you and wife you, especially if you a baddie and he ain't never had a baddie. He seen you pop up into the frame. Yo, I got this. He can't wait to pull up to the cookout. Yo, you see my joint? Oh, that's you, nephew? That's all he want. So a dude like that will definitely accept you for who you are. But a man with options is not tolerating that. Unless he got some type of kink or a fetish where he on some ditty, like let me put on the Habibi mask, stand in the corner and watch my girl get glazed. If he on something like that, then cool, yeah, whatever. That ain't for me though. And that's, you know what I'm saying, it's probably not for you neither. So nah, just cut ties. It ain't worth the headache. Send her on her way. That's my advice to you, man. Stay alert, stay alive. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this episode of Advice with Mike. I'm your host, comedian Mike Murphy. I hope you guys enjoyed me as much as I enjoyed you. And if so, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Matter of fact, leave me a comment and let me know what advice you would have gave them. And who knows, you may have your own toxic tale to tell about a shady friend or an entanglement you need help untangling. If so, feel free to drop me a letter at the email provided below, and I'll make sure to read it in a future segment of Advice with Mike. Now, with that being said, our time together has come to an end. But just remember, stay alert, stay alive.